everybody. Welcome to the Allied News Network, our very first show, our inaugural show, if you will, because that's how inaugural things work. Some of you are wondering, what is the A.N.N. and who's involved and why should I be coming to this for news? Well, the Allied News Network is a program that we are setting up as reporters and as journalists for New Eden to get as authentic of an experience as we can and also use you to gather the news across the entire galaxy. We'll be using this with reporters from all over the place, including myself, Daemonxel, the Eve Echoes radio team, and we've also reached out to individuals such as SovereignRPG and the Sky News team. We want to, at least our vision is for this A.N.N. conglomerate, whatever we want to call it. It's a coalition of sorts. It's not actually in the game, but we all want to come together to provide the most accurate and up-to-date news for what's going on. So we'll have schedules of when we're releasing our news reports, when the radio is live with the latest news, and you are going to be a big part of that. So if you want to be a part, all you have to do is join the Discord down below. We've created a brand new Discord for every player from across the galaxy, no matter what corporation, no matter the alliance, to provide news and stories and clips that you think justify being put on air. Also, if you're an alliance leader or diplomat, there's a special room for you. And what that room is going to allow us to do as reporters and journalists is to cross-verify information. Our goal is truly to uphold journalistic integrity so that we're providing the most accurate news that we can to all of you. Doing so is going to help grow not only A.N.N., but also help grow your knowledge of the game and hopefully your knowledge of fun. How to become a reporter if you want to? Well, you must go through an incredibly difficult screening process, which means Daemonxel is going to grill you, I'm going to grill you, everybody's going to grill you, and if we approve, you can become a reporter. Now, we will have strict policies. We will not be allowing propaganda of any kind. We will try to vet sources from both sides, and if both sides cannot be reached, we will say so in the video or the radio, however that tends to work. But that's the basics. So our first news story of the day will start with actually my corporation and alliance in game, the Outer Rim Pirates. The Outer Rim Pirates defeated the French Asylum in Molden, Heath in a battle of several skirmishes lasting a couple weeks, while neither side put up a massive fleet of 50 to 100 ships to go after one another. Skirmishes did brew out every day for 2 weeks. Finally, the French Asylum abandoned the area, with stragglers still approaching and coming forth here and there. Now, the other side could not be reached, and this is not being declared a war victory, but it is being declared a territorial victory for the Outer Rim Pirates, as they've now conquered the area they wish to establish as a foothold as they begin their exploration and piracy into various nullsec regions. Now, these skirmishes were led by BLGN, the tip of the spear, if you will, of the Outer Rim pirating forces. BLGN is an organized group of PvPers helping lead the pirates to victory in any skirmishes that come up. They are also one of the primary forms of defense, while also Rev Reavers, Xeno, and other forms of pirating personnel come together to help defend the homeland while also going out to seek riches, glory, fame, and power. Now, the French Asylum is not the only alliance that the Outer Rim Pirates have run into, but they are the first to have to vacate space due to ORP's numbers and tactics. And we'll see if this continues with several other large alliances looming close by. Also, on the note of ORP, the Outer Rim Pirates recently launched their very first Citadel, or at least their Capsuleer Station. And as the person who launched it, I can tell you, it was incredibly disappointing. Now, one of the positives from this is GENFED came to pay a visit. GENFED brought a slew of about 5 fleets worth of ships, and while that might be small numbers for them, it was impressive for the pirates to witness. Now, reason being is there were rumors across the galaxy that people like the Mercenary Alliance and, former members of the Ops4S coalition and alliance had made threats. Screenshots provided for clarity, of course, in the background. They're outside in space for some reason. Don't ask why they're in space, but they're in space. Provided for clarity. Because of these threats, content was potential to happen when the station entered its vulnerability period. Alas, nothing did come, and the Outer Rim pilots soon learned that these stations are basically worthless. Like, they're as worthless as the piece of papers I'm holding, because they actually contain no news. All the notes are on the screen, because that's how modern technology works. The Capsuleer Station does not even allow the owner to provide access to the corporation in terms of allowing another corpmate to run the guns, thus making it a pretty non-strategic part of an alliance tool belt. Now, while it does allow docking, and a fun feature of the Capsuleer Outpost is I can set it to where only my enemies can dock at the station, because who wouldn't want that? Great tactic. Make them dock and then let them live where you live. For whatever reason, Capsuleer Outposts are still very limited in what they can accomplish, and also are not that effective in fighting, to be completely honest. Tests were run, and you can see some of the footage in the background where 1 minute was the lock-on time on frigates, and even with 30-second lock-on times, damage being done in terms of DPR to things like Hurricanes and Caracal Navies were simply not that impressive. What it does have in its platter, though, is a massive hull strength and quite a bit of shield, so it will take time for these to be taken down, but you've seen Citadels burn to the ground, or at least out in space, across the galaxy already, and the odds are Tortuga will be the next on the list if they do not destroy them themselves. Currently, several corporations inside of ORP are actually debating whether or not they should destroy their own Capsuleer Outpost for laughs and giggles, because why not? That is what it is. Next on our news, back to the non-important newspaper. Content creator WhoIsAFish has launched part 2 of her Eve Echoes fanfiction. For those who've been a fan of the Eve universe for quite some time know that there are several writers in New Eden who like to dive into the lore and add their little bit of personality and storytelling to the universe, the galaxy, and to you. And if you want to see that, check the link in the description below or go to the website, because that's where it is. That's the location. Like, if a pirate can find it, you can find it. But new episodes will be released every Friday at 1800 UTC, and she encourages that stories are inspired by real events from the mobile space MMO Eve Echoes, and that if you want to be a part, you can become part of the story. Join the fight, whatever that means. It's kind of ambiguous, but she says join the fight, so maybe go find Obsidian Elite, fight them, and then you'll be in the story? Maybe? Maybe this news station will be in the story. Will Ann make it into part 3 of Fish's storytelling? Well, find out on her website, because that's where the fanfiction is. I reached out to Bubba87 recently, as Daemonxel did report that the Ops 4S fleet did have a little bit of a departure. It was announced on Reddit that several corporations have left, and they changed some of their policies, including where at times during fleet run events throughout the Alliance they would raise taxes to 100%. Now, this may come as a shock to many regular players out there who aren't part of such alliances, but these tactics aren't unheard of, and I'm not here to say that's right or wrong. But with some of the Ops Force members leaving, it happened. That's not fake news there. It happened. I reached out to Bubba87, who is part of one of those corporations, and Bubba's corporation is there, and I asked, what was his thoughts on the departure, and he gave a very brutal answer. He said, honestly, I don't know, man. I really don't pay attention to that stuff. I just edited there for profanity. And you know what? I think that's how the game should be played anyway. I like Bubba's take. Go out there, have fun. Do what you want to do. Don't worry about all the drama. So, if you're a former member of Ops and looking for a new home, the Outer Empires are recruiting. But if you're not, go out there, be safe, don't be toxic, and have fun. Speaking of toxic behavior, don't do it. Simple as that. We're going to save that for another segment. Next up, I want to congratulate the Eve Echoes Reddit page, who has recently surpassed 20,000 and 21,000 members on the page itself. Pretty impressive number for a small mobile game that is becoming a large part of our hearts. Thump, 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 thump. You can see some amazing stories on there, and it actually makes for great news content. And of course, the A.N.N will be using the Eve Echoes Reddit and the Facebook pages to gather news sources as we do. But I think that there's some great player-told stories, such as this one, of a phantasm that was destroyed in a T6 rat right after he bragged about getting a phantasm. RIP. Big oof. Yeah. Probably should want to go to the settings page and contact customer support, see if they replace it. I do applaud you for announcing your own embarrassment. We all make mistakes. I myself had my first run-in with my Drammy. This is actually the cockpit you see here is my second Dramil. As my first one at 4 a.m. in the night, where I'm dead tired, I was pirating in low sec and warped to a station. As you can imagine, Drammy go boom. It happens to all of us, but at least I've never died to rats. Shout out that I'm sorry, player. That's rough. And last but not least, to recap on the first inaugural episode of the Allied News Network. This is a short one, but it's to encourage you to check out our other reporters, such as Eve Echoes Radio and Daemonxel, while we're also looking for more of you. We also really must strongly press that you must join the Discord. The Discord is how we're going to make sure that your view and your story gets told. Whether you have a story about marketing, wars happening in the north, south, east, or west, alliance diplomacy, new friends made, or just a casual story about a great event that happened for you in the game, well, we need to know so that we can continue to have great story for you and great content for you during the week and for every week following. And that is the goal of the Allied News Network. Unbiased, fun reporting just for you. So if you want to be part of it, join the Discord, contact us individually on Facebook or on Reddit if you see us around. And as always, stay safe out there, Space Cowboys. Fly safe, but shoot first. This has been Rev Deuce with the Allied News Network. Check out our conglomerate, coalition, friends, or whatever we want to call the other reporters. Check them out. The links are in the comment section below. Peace out.